Hello and welcome back to the What If series, day 16, and we're talking about something today that's seemingly controversial. What if jealousy were a good thing? Now, there are only shadows because there is sunshine. So we have this yin and yang, this masculine and feminine, the dark and the light. But when it comes to an emotion, we're very drawn, aren't we, to say that something is either good or it's bad. But what if it's not that simple? What if jealousy were a good thing? Even our shadows are working for us towards our higher good. And I first came across this theory in NLP when we learned about the integrating parts process. Now, you'll have experienced this when you say something like, I really want to X, Y, and Z, but there's part of me that says, who the hell do you think you are to want to do that or achieve that? So there's a part of us that thinks one way, but there's a part of us that thinks another. And I bet you now that I've said that to you, you're going to start to hear this more in conversation, either from yourself or with people that you come into contact with. I went on to investigate this when I started learning more about it because it really fascinated me. And I found a book called Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford, and you can find the link in my blog, link below. And I began to understand that very often experiencing these negative emotions is a way for us to look inward and say, why is that triggering me? What do I need to look at within myself? Because this is a lesson for me. So what if jealousy were a good thing? Now, we know it as the green-eyed monster, and it doesn't sound very nice, does it? But what's really interesting, and that only came up for me as I was writing this blog for you today, is that in Debbie Ford's book that I've just mentioned, there is an exercise called the bus exercise. And it's about how we can come into contact with our shadow, and we can ask them, like, what have you taught me and how can we integrate and work together? Now, I did this shadow work a lot last year on my personal growth plan. And I once met Jazz Jealousy. And Jazz Jealousy was in the body of Jim Carrey's character, The Mask, who's green. And it was only as I was writing this out today that I made that connection. I found that really, really interesting. So I wanted to share that with you. So how can jealousy be good? Could it be actually a guide to show you what you want? So say, for instance, you get triggered by somebody that's in this perfect relationship. Is it because your relationship needs working on? Or is it because it's something that you're not in a relationship and you really want that? Perhaps you're triggered by everyone seemingly experiencing so much more financial success than you. And can you then turn that around and get very clear on what you want to experience in your financial world? Or one more example, maybe you're triggered by people who spend so much of their time travelling, free as a bird, one country to another, and you feel caged in by the monotony of your 9-to-5 job, you're coming home, dinner, kids, shower, bed, whatever, and you just want that freedom. So what can you do about it? The first step really is to recognise where jealousy is showing up for yourself and say to yourself, if this is showing me what I really want, then what is that? Why am I feeling this right now? And then you're going to need to decide, and this is the big one, are you going to be constructive or are you going to be destructive with this emotion? Are you going to become the green-eyed monster and bitch and moan about why you don't have it and why it's so much easier for the other person to have it? Or are you going to get constructive and say, now that I've identified what it is that I truly want, what steps can I take to move me towards that? And maybe you're going to want to reach out and get advice and speak to people. Maybe you want to speak to the person that triggered you in the first place. We always have a choice about how we react to a trigger. We can respond or we can react. And when we react, we very often get ourselves into hot water. So if we can stop shaming ourselves into believing that jealousy is something negative and we can turn it into a constructive exercise to create a life that we desire, then jealousy won't stick around. It's just a transitional thing. It's just a guidepost. It's like being en route and this guide pole just saying, yes, you're still on the right path because that's where you're going. So it's about not really having a look at an emotion and terming it good or bad, but saying, why is this triggering me? What do I need to learn? And how can I move forward constructively with that? And the constructive or the destructive is really the energy behind whether something is good or bad. So the exercise for today is to have a look at, where do you experience feelings of jealousy in your life? Can you identify what the triggers are? How does that show you that there's something in your life that you're not happy with, or there is something in your life that you desire that you don't have yet? Are you prepared to make plans to move towards that goal? Or do you find it easier to stay in the energy of jealousy and take no action? You've got to be honest with that one. If you're ready to move, what action can you take? Who can you reach out to for some help? What resources do you need? When will you start? Make a plan with dates and just start moving. Your mantra for today is, jealousy points me toward my desired destination. Jealousy points me toward my desired destination. Nice quick one for you today. Looking forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. Please do share. Come join me at Women Embracing Wealth over on Facebook, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.